Hello YouTube, today at Power Jack Repair we got Samsung 470R. The problem with this laptop is the jack right here. As you can see, the center black piece is broken and you should be able to see two pins in there. Let me show you like that. All right, and what we do is I'm gonna show you how to take this thing apart and how to replace this piece. The channel basically is being supported by ads and by your donations. If you want, you could send us the whole laptop or you can send us just the motherboard. Let's begin repairing this laptop. Ready. Set this aside. So we unscrew all the screws on the bottom. Let's see if we can take this panel downwards. So we basically move it this way and take this panel out. Here we got one screw, right here we got one screw, two screws right there, and the hard drive right here. Now a couple of screws we need to unscrew. One is right here, so under this pad. Another one is under that pad. Now if that's the reason you're watching this video because you couldn't find those two screws, leave a like. And one and two right here. Alrighty. Okay, next thing that we want to do is probably remove this wire right here. That's the wire for the hard drive. Now you don't want to pull on the wire because the connection gonna get pulled as well. The connector, the plastic connector where it sits in, gonna get pulled. So what you want to do is you want to be holding down on this port right here, and then with the separate tool push it from both sides, just like I did right now. Here what we want to do is unscrew 4 screws right here. You want to set the screws aside separately, and here you just remove the hard drive. And the next thing that you want to do is right here, 1 screw, 2 screws, and 3 screws. Alright, now we got those screws out. Here is one cable that we might or might not want to disconnect. I don't know yet, but I will just disconnect it in case. I pull on the wires, and at the same time I'm holding down the port so it wouldn't come out with the port. The reason I'm showing you all that, so if you want to decide, if you decide to send this laptop away, you could just send just the motherboard if you want to save some money. So the more exact model of this is NP470R5e. And then it's K02UB. Alright, so if you were watching this video to see how to replace the hard drive or upgrade the hard drive to a solid state drive, this is where you upgrade it here. To upgrade it to a solid state drive, you just disconnect this wire, pull it backwards, put the new hard drive in here, and the laptop gonna work about 10 times faster if you just put a solid state drive into this laptop. Overall, it's one of the best laptops there are, and it's a good thing to upgrade it if you wanna get 10 times speed. All right, so on the sides, I got this guitar pick, and I kind of jam it in there, like that. Come on. All right, it holds really well right here. Maybe I should try another side first. All right, so here. All right. Let's see. Like that. And one more screw right here I forgot to unscrew. Not that I forgot, it just I was looking at the display seeing if everything is being recorded as I'm working on this thing. So here we open it up like that and like that. Right, good job. So if that's the only reason you watch this video, then voila, here you have it. Now you got to the battery replacement. For example, if you want to replace the battery, this is how you do it. I will show you in a second how to disconnect the battery and remove the battery from the this Samsung 470R. So here you don't want to touch anything on the board yet until you remove this guy right here. Now removing it is not really that simple. What I want to do is I want to unscrew the battery first. Alrighty, so the battery got unscrewed. Okay, make sure all of the screws are accounted for. And now, once you rotate this battery like that, what you want to do is just pull on the cables. Don't touch those capacitors here. Those capacitors, once you touch them in any way, shape or form, pretty much everything will go haywire. So like that here. And that's how you replace the battery if you're watching this video for battery replacement purposes. Now, here we got a strange type of hinge. Let's see if we just move it upwards, maybe. Yeah, no. Maybe those guys needs to come out. Oh, this is the first time in my life I see hinges like that. Let me experiment on this tiny board here first. Honestly, never seen a hinge like that. Don't wanna break it. And we are the people who make tutorials. Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, I don't want to break this hinge in any way, shape or form, so maybe lifts up. No. Maybe this thing goes out there. Maybe I should just force it a little bit. You know what, since it's not my laptop, I'm not gonna force on disconnecting that hinge, because quite honestly, I'm not sure if this thing needs to be rotated upwards right there for the cable to come out, or those guys needs to be pulled out here. Don't want to break this hinge. It's too much work fixing that stuff later. So what I'm gonna do is one screw right here, another one right there. All right, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect this guy right here, which is a standard hinge, and this thing we're gonna just disconnect like that. Really don't want to break it, don't want to experiment with it, don't want to put too much work in here anyway. Just leave a comment below how you disconnected that hinge if you ended up disconnecting it. Here what I'm doing is I'm disconnecting the wireless cables for the internet and setting them aside. Here I'm disconnecting the speaker on the right hand side. And here I'm disconnecting the fan. Alright, for some reason here like that. You wanna keep down the okay, like that. You don't want to rip out this connector because this is the fan connector. If it's not gonna recognize the fan, it's not gonna work. The system not gonna go past certain point. Here what we're gonna do is 1, 2 screws for the fans, and we can probably remove the fan. Now the fan is part of the assembly with the heatsink. So here, what I'm doing here now, we got this this wire right here, which I need to unplug from the doesn't want to get unplugged that well here. Let's try to unplug it from this side. Yep, much easier to unplug it from this side. And here we got a wire for the, well, first let's disconnect the cable for the keyboard like that. And this guy, I wish I would have a little bit more room right here to wiggle room right there. Okay, you know what, I have to disconnect this chip in order to make more room right here for my finger. Okay, for my nail. And here we can just set it like that. We don't want to touch it any further. All right, so the only thing left to do is right here, 1 screw and another screw and 1 more screw right there. Okay, let's see if we can take this motherboard outwards. Alrighty. So we got this motherboard out, and I mean, I have much better angle now to see. How this thing gets disconnected, but quite honestly, doesn't matter how well you see, and I'm an old man already. Yeah, I think this black piece is supposed to simply go up. So basically this thing you just lift up, technically, right? But in practice, I could mess things up. Let's see. No, you know what? Let me leave it like that. What I want to do here is basically just put some tape onto this board, and that. More going on onto this side like that. The reason I do that so that I could just flip it like that and kind of stabilize it here to the motherboard, because I'll have to solder everything and I need a lot of room to maneuver this system. So, all right, so like that. All right. Like that. And like that. Good job. And what I want to do is I want to put some tape on the wire right there, because it might catch onto something. And this thing. All right. So here we got a broken jack, and I'm sure I have one of those in stock. What you want to be careful about is these components right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 components right there in the back. So to prevent any damage to those components, they're not going to get damaged, but they could fly off the motherboard once I start to work on this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using Captain tape. Captain tape you could find from the link below on our Amazon page. Now we don't sell it, but we just basically point you where you're going to get that Captain tape. And if you buy using the link below, we're going to make about maybe 1 cent, maybe 1/10 of a cent. I don't know. I mean, we get about $1 a month from Amazon referrals. So go figure how many cents I make from selling you this Captain tape. It doesn't matter this Captain tape or any other Captain tape. They all pretty much the same. That's what we buy right here. All right. So what I'm doing here, I'm insulating the area around the jack, and once the area is insulated, the next thing that I'm gonna do, the reason I'm telling you all that, because there's gonna be exhaust powering up. There's gonna be exhaust powering up in a second, and that's gonna make life of talking, speaking to you a lot more difficult. So the next steps here are to put some flux. Flux is available from the link below. Again, we're gonna make about $0.01 from that referral. If you buy the flux from us. Not from us, but from Amazon, but using the referral link below. So we're gonna add some flux to all of those connections right here. And we're gonna add some new solder to that connections. New solder and flux. The new solder gonna mix with the old solder. This is a silver bearing solder. It's much harder to unsolder than a leaded based solder. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be adding the leaded based solder here, and on the other side. Once everything mixes together, we're gonna use a hot air station to just drop the jack from the space. And then we're gonna use the desoldering wick, again from the link below. We're also gonna make about $0.01, maybe one day. So anyways, by the way, the part is for sale from our website. The link is below. And you can send us just the motherboard like that, and we should be able to fix it as well. So let me show you again how the whole thing done. By the way, once we drop the jack from the socket, we're gonna be using the desoldering wick to suck all of the solder from those points. All right. So now let me power up the exhaust and let's switch to the desoldering station. Alrighty. So here I'm adding some flux. Plenty of flux all over the place. All right. And then what I'm doing is I'm adding some leaded solder to the points right here. You know what, it doesn't want to mix well. Here, let's power up the hot air station so that it will introduce a little bit of heat to the joints so that the flux would melt, so that the solder would melt a little bit better and the flux would melt a little bit better. And the solder would melt a little bit better. So now, right there we got a really good mix going on. All right, wonderful. Wonderful, looks really good to me. Alrighty. Good job. And now my goal is to increase the hot air temperature a little bit. I'm not increasing the amount of air moving, I'm increasing the amount of temperature just a little bit in a second. What I want to do now is I just want to make sure that all of the you see on this side it didn't penetrate that well all the way through, and that's the reason why it might not come out easier. It needs to be easy. All right, so here let's flip it over one more time, and now we're gonna add a little bit more air. Not too much though, just tiny bit. Let's see if the ooh, wow, I had too much air coming through. All right, so here we're just gonna be using the air. Yeah, I think that's too much temperature. Let's lower the temperature just a little bit. Yep, good job. Wonderful. And now the goal is to desolder lower the temperature a bit more. The goal is to desolder, to remove all of the solder. The silver bearing solder and the leaded base solder needs to be removed now. Okay. Good job. All right, let's see if we can see everything here. This pad doesn't want to bulge really well. Wonderful. Wonderful. Good job. Alrighty. Okay. So that's how we remove the whole thing. And I just want to make sure that, you know, this pad right here still needs some work on the other side. So let's work on it here. Let's work on it right there, right here, and right there. Good job. Now let's remove the hot air station altogether. Cut it down. And now the goal is to see if any of those components got lifted off the motherboard. If they did get lifted, I need to work on them to be in place. I need to put them in place, basically, here. Everything looks good on both sides. Basically, the pins, there are no pins stuck inside of the jack. And you see the holes are empty. So I need to find the replacement jack for this thing right now. All right, so here's how the new jack looks like. That's the old jack right there, and the new jack right next to each other. All right, And in order for me to solder everything just beautifully, I put a thick layer of flux on the top side. I put the jack, or is that the bottom side? Yeah, that's the bottom side. Okay, never mind. So here I put a thick layer of the flux on the top side. And now I'm just putting the new jack right here in place. You see, it went into the motherboard easy. You don't need to break the motherboard to get the jack out. So here, I'm just trying to solder a little bit. Make sure it's... I'm not soldering it all the way. I'm just making sure it sits properly on the board. All right. I don't want it to be slightly up, down, left, or right. Okay. Let's make sure it sits on this side as well. All right, good job. Wonderful. All right. And now I'm just gonna solder things up right here. And the things go much easier because there's plenty of flux. All right, so this thing just melts like butter. Good job. Wonderful. Really easy jack to work on. Nothing, I mean, this is not complicated system to work on at all. Really simple, really easy. Easy breezy, beautiful. So that's the negative one. And on the negative parts, we want to kind of leave the soldering iron for a longer time. And that's the positive one. And I'm just making sure that all of this solder gonna penetrate to the opposite side of the motherboard. And everything penetrated just beautifully, as you can see right there in the back. No need to solder from the back. So I just wanna do a little tap here, tap right there, so that's gonna hold everything much better. All right, good job. I mean, excellent job. I didn't find anything out of extraordinary. Let me clean it up, and then we're gonna put the whole assembly back together. Alrighty, just a little clean up here, right there. Clean up the top. Flip this thing over. Clean up right there, like that, and like that. Good job. Wonderful, excellent. I like it. All right, let's power down the soldering station. Okay. Let me do a close-up of the job we did right here. Better than factory because everything's soldered through in the best possible ways. What I need to do is I need to double check if the current, so there is a resistance on the positive and there shouldn't be any resistance on the negative. Yep. Good job. So this board is made so that it would crack right there. If it's cracked right there, it's still possible to fix it. So if you have a cracked motherboard right there, send it in, we will make it work still. Now you can send us just the motherboard. If the board is cracked, you have to send us the whole thing, because what we're gonna do is we will have to run the wires from the back of the jack to the positive ends right there, from the negative ends to here, and then we'll have to hot glue everything. But in order for us to hot glue everything, we need a casing where we're going to be hot gluing it to. All right. Here we bring this guy here. We want to remove the tape from this end. All right, let's remove the tape here. Let's remove tape there. Let's remove this tape right here. Don't break the cable in any way. All right, so here like that. And like that. Okay, careful not to pull on the cable. Make sure it's kind of still attached. All right, so here, make sure you're not gonna break this cable. Now I know I could figure out how that hinge is being opened up. I just don't want to experiment it here. And this time I got a whole bunch of other work to do. And this is not my priority right now to... All right, I need to clean up this area right there, because that's gonna be flying all over the place. Okay, good job. Now let's flip this whole assembly over. Like that. Like that. Like that. Good job. Yeah. Okay, like that. And here we just connect this this cable just like we disconnected, just using nails like that. This guy we just connect here like that. Now, unfortunately, we don't have money yet to use the DSLR cameras. We don't have a single DSLR cameras. We just use webcams for video recording. I know that once we switch to the DSLR cameras, things will be much easier to see. But till that day comes, it's gonna be a few more years probably, the way how things go. So here, like that. Okay, good job. And here we just need 2 screws to screw down this board right here. Not the best screwdriver for this kind of situation. Any day now, just give me 1 second. I know it's here. All right, found the screwdriver. So we're gonna put 1 screw right there. Okay, and another one right here. Now, if you manage to break this hinge, let us know how to open it up. Okay. Here, what I want to do is I probably want to connect this fan straight down. Okay. Looks good. Here I want to connect this cable into that side port right there. Okay. And here I want to connect this speaker into this socket right there. Good job so far. And here we got 2 cables. One is going to be connected here. Come on, like that. And another one going to be connected right there. like that. Excellent. Happy with the work I did here. Now it wouldn't be excellent if everything not gonna work once I put it all back together. All right, so I need a couple screws. I believe here. Let's see if this thing gonna come after we put the. All right, so here is one screw going in here. Okay, we got two long screws. And that's the hard drive. All right, I think two long screws supposed to be right here. Long silver screw going in here. And another long silver screw gonna go right into this spot right there. The only problem is that black wire shouldn't be caught in the way. You know what? I'm not that sure if this is a long screw. Maybe this is the short one. Let's see. Now the short ones obviously sits in there just fine. Now let's try a few more short ones. One right here. All right. Let's do another one right there. Okay. So maybe this shouldn't be a long screw either. So yeah, this long screw are gonna be set right there. This is probably the short one right here. Yeah, so short screw. Another short screw right there. Let's connect the battery at this time. So I want to make sure that this cable connected, that guy is connected here. That and that is connected. All right. So I connected the battery. And for some reason it doesn't sit in place the way it should be. Maybe I need to guide it through, but I think it's supposed to go from the top down. No. Oh, okay. So the problem is the battery is fluffed up right here. You see it's fluffy. So that's the reason. So basically the laptop was either dropped or the battery is pretty bad. So that's the reason it doesn't want to sit properly, because it just fluffed up. Now, so yeah, you do need to replace this kind of battery. Even though it's gonna work, I mean, it's no big deal, but because it's fluffy, okay, so those are the long screws right here for sure. All right. Now let me take a look. What else am I missing here? So that screw gonna go there. That one gonna go there. Another one gonna go right there. Yeah, I think we all set here. You wanna put this guy right there. Okay. Make sure the hinges are tight. Make sure this guy is tight right there. Yep. Now let's put the cover back onto the laptop. I'm not squeezing it too hard because I don't want to squeeze it to the point so that the screen would break. It's trying to go around perimeter and put some pressure on the top of the casing. And I probably need to open this thing up because, oops, client's information. All right, so let's see. Like that, like that, like that. Yeah, because I don't want to be squeezing onto the screen top, squeezing the casing to casing. All right. The only squeezing point didn't go through is right here, because it seems like that nut on the other side is broken. So right there. All right. And we can just go around the perimeter and screw those guys. Those are the long black screws right here. All right, make sure it's on the lowest torque possible. Okay. Okay. And this one, last one, is probably gonna go from the top. All right. Here, let's put those pads. One right there. Another one right there. Let's connect the hard drive first. And then, well, we don't want to short anything. So just make sure it's nice and up. So now we connected the hard drive. Guide it through. Like that. Wonderful. Okay. So for this guy, I'm pretty sure we have small screws, right? Yeah, so one small screw. Another one. One more right there. And this one I have to be extremely careful not to damage the cable. So you want to do it by hand. All right, so once we did it by hand, let me screw a long one right there. Another two long ones right here. Right here. We got one more screw left right here. Okay. And let's see if we can just guide that guy like that, and we kind of close it down like that. Okay. Good job. Now let's make sure it's gonna work. I want to make sure that this casing in the back is snapped, and though it's not snapped all the way I like it. Let's see. All right. Okay. All right. Let's plug in the power supply into the outlet. Let's see if you get any voltage from the power supply here. Yep, we get 19 volts. And now we're going to connect this to the jack right there. Let's see if the laptop can respond. And the laptop is not responding. That's a problem here. I mean, usually there should be lights on the front, right here coming up, but there is no lights coming up. Nope, no lights coming up. Maybe the plug isn't the best shape. Here, let's see. No, strange. I mean, the job was beautifully done, but no, still good voltage. Nope, nothing. Well, the thing is, I need to leave it charging for a few hours. Maybe it's gonna wake up, but so far, you see, no good. Well, guys, no fix, no charge, so doesn't wanna work. I will leave a comment below to let you know if it was working fine after the night of charging. But the way it is right now, job was done really good. So as you can see, everything is right there. I mean, the plug is working, everything's supposed to conduct the electricity, but nothing is working, nothing shows up right here on the front. So anyways, hopefully this video was helpful to somebody, but obviously it doesn't work. Anyways, leave a like, have a good day, stay safe, bye.